In this video, I give you a side-by-side comparison of All-Clad versus Demeyere. You'll learn how their cookware differs in construction, design, cooking performance, price, and more. I also reveal the results from my head-to-head tests and show you the pros and cons of both brands. All-Clad and Demeyere take different approaches to construction, and these differences significantly impact performance. I'll get to performance in a minute, but first let's quickly go over how each brand's cookware is made. All-Clad D3 and D3 Everyday pans feature 3-ply construction with an 1810 stainless steel interior, a heavy-gauge aluminum core, and a magnetic stainless steel exterior. All-Clad D5 pans have 5-ply construction. The core is made up of 2 aluminum layers separated by a thin steel layer. Copper core is All-Clad's most premium collection, featuring 5-ply construction with a thick copper core. G5 graphite core is one of All-Clad's newest collections. It's made of 5 layers, including 2 inner layers of aluminum and a thin graphite core disc. Demeyere's materials and construction vary between collections and even within the same collection. For example, the Atlantis collection's fry pans and sauciers are fully clad with 7-ply construction. The interior is 1810 stainless steel, the core is 3 layers of aluminum, and the exterior is 3 layers of steel. Atlantis stock pots, sauté pans, and other pieces with vertical sides have a thick cladded base for even heating at the bottom and thin stainless steel sides to reduce weight. The base is steel on the cooking surface, then a layer of silver, then copper, then silver again, and finally the same 3-layer base as the Atlantis fry pans. The Demeyere Industry Collection is almost identical to All-Clad D3 and D3 Everyday. It's fully clad with a stainless steel interior, an aluminum core, and a stainless steel exterior. As you'll see in the test results in a minute, thickness, in addition to the materials and layering, plays an important role in heat conduction and retention. Demeyere Industry and most All-Clad pans are right around 3 millimeters thick. All-Clad copper core is thinner at 2 millimeters. Usually this is a negative, but this collection is thinner for a reason. Copper is heavier than aluminum, and if these pans were as thick as the others, they would be too heavy. Demeyere Atlantis is the thickest collection across both brands. Atlantis fry pans are 5 millimeters thick, which is extremely thick for a stainless steel pan. In fact, out of the 30-plus stainless steel brands I've tested, Demeyere Atlantis fry pans are the thickest. Another factor to consider is weight. Demeyere Atlantis fry pans are by far the heaviest. The 11-inch pan weighs 5.2 pounds. The next heaviest is All-Clad copper core. The 12-inch pan weighs 3.7 pounds. All-Clad D3, D3 Everyday, and D5, and Demeyere Industry fry pans all weigh around 3 pounds. The lightest option across both brands is All-Clad G5. Now that you understand the differences between All-Clad and Demeyere in terms of construction, let's talk about performance. I've cooked dozens of meals in each of these pans, and they all do a fantastic job. I've used them to sear meat, sauté vegetables, fry chicken, cook eggs, simmer sauces, and more. I've put All-Clad and Demeyere head-to-head against other popular brands like Made In and Heritage Steel, and they perform as well, if not better, than any other brand. That said, there are some key differences in how they conduct and retain heat. To illustrate this, I conducted a simple test. I poured 2 cups of 55-degree Fahrenheit water into 5 All-Clad pans and 2 Demeyere pans. Then I heated each pan on the highest setting using the same electric burner. All 7 pans showed signs of even heating, with tiny water bubbles uniform across the cooking surfaces. However, there was a significant difference in how quickly each pan brought the water to a boil. The All-Clad G5 pan heated up the fastest. In just 2 minutes and 4 seconds, the water came to a full boil. I wasn't surprised by this because graphite is a highly conductive material, and these pans are lightweight. The All-Clad copper core pan came in second, followed by D3 Everyday, D3, D5, and Demeyere Industry. The slowest pan to boil the water by a good margin was Demeyere Atlantis. Because of its super thick 5.2 millimeter walls, these pans take much more time to heat up. To further validate these findings, I conducted a second test. I preheated each pan on medium for exactly 45 seconds, greased the surface with a small amount of butter, and added 1/3 of a cup of pancake batter. After exactly 1 minute, I flipped the pancakes and cooked them for an additional 30 seconds. I allowed the burner to cool down completely between testing each pan and maintain the same heat setting throughout. The goal was not to cook the perfect pancakes. It was to see how quickly the pan heated while controlling all other variables. Here are the results. The All-Clad G5 pan heated so fast that the butter started burning almost immediately, and the pancake was way overcooked by the end of the minute and a half. On the other end was Demeyere Atlantis. The pan heated so slowly that the pancake almost fell apart when I flipped it, and it was still raw in the middle when the timer went off. All-Clad Copper Core was the second fastest to heat behind G5, which was consistent with the water boiling test. And All-Clad D5 was the second slowest to heat, which also aligns with the previous test. On the flip side of heat conduction is heat retention. You want pans that heat fast and evenly, but it's also important for them to maintain a consistent temperature and stay hot as you add ingredients. After boiling the water in the heat conduction tests, I set each pan aside to cool and measured the water temperature after 5 and 10 minutes. Although all collections across both brands performed well, Demeyere Atlantis is the clear winner in this category. The thick walls slow heat down, but also absorb and hold on to it longer. It's not the best cookware for boiling pasta or making a quick meal, but it's ideal for searing, shallow frying, simmering, and any other techniques that require a consistent temperature. Demeyere Atlantis pans have a 3-layer steel bottom. Demeyere calls this triple induct, and they claim that the extra magnetic steel layers make the cookware 30% more efficient on induction cooktops. To test this claim, I poured 2 cups of cold water into the 5 All-Clad and 2 Demeyere pans. Then I placed them on the same induction burner and set the heat to high. All-Clad G5 was the first to boil the water at 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Demeyere Atlantis, despite its thicker construction, came in second place at 2 minutes and 23 seconds. In third was All-Clad D5, followed by Demeyere Industry, All-Clad Copper Core, All-Clad D3 Everyday, and All-Clad D3. So the triple induct base does improve efficiency on induction, but it's still not as efficient as All-Clad G5 and only boiled the water a handful of seconds faster than All-Clad D5. In the past, All-Clad advertised their pans as dishwasher safe, but that changed when customers started noticing that after repeated dishwasher cycles, the exposed aluminum core layer was receding. When this happened, the steel layers on the top and bottom became sharp. All-Clad settled a lawsuit over this issue and now recommends hand washing their pans. Demeyere still advertises its pans as dishwasher safe and has yet to encounter problems. However, the Demeyere Industry collection has exposed rims similar to All-Clad, so there's a chance the same issue could occur. Demeyere Atlantis pans have sealed rims with steel covering the inner aluminum layers around the edge of the pan. Another significant difference between All-Clad and Demeyere is their handles. All-Clad's D3, D5, and Copper Core collections have cup-shaped handles with a groove on top and a rounded bottom. This design locks your hand in place and prevents the handle from rotating when tilting the pan. However, the edges can dig into your hand, and many people complain they're uncomfortable, which I would agree with. All-Clad addressed this issue in its newer collections like D3 Everyday and G5. These pans have a redesigned handle that's flatter on the top and has a more subtle cup shape. It still offers good control, but it's much more comfortable. Demeyere handles are flatter without a groove on top. They're simple, comfortable, and provide a secure grip. Unlike All-Clad handles, which are riveted to the pan, Demeyere handles are welded. Without rivets, the cooking surface is completely smooth and easier to clean. The downside, though, is that there's a chance of them detaching. A few months into testing Demeyere, the handle on the Atlantis pan started to loosen, and as I was holding it, it completely snapped off. I was genuinely shocked when this happened because Demeyere talks about how strong the welds are and even has a video of an employee jumping on a pan to prove it. Although this isn't a common issue, I found a few other customers complaining about it, so it's not a complete fluke. Fortunately, Demeyere sent me a new pan and I haven't had any issues since, but it's something to keep in mind. There's no sugarcoating it. All-Clad and Demeyere are 2 of the most expensive cookware brands you can buy. These are the current prices of both brands' most popular frying pans on allclad.com and zwilling.com. Demeyere Atlantis is the most expensive collection of the group, followed by All-Clad Copper Core, G5, and D5. All-Clad D3, D3 Everyday, and Demeyere Industry are the most affordable collections, but they're still very pricey. So should you buy All-Clad or Demeyere? Aside from the high cost and the risk that comes with welded handles, Demeyere Atlantis is the most enjoyable pan to cook with. It heats slowly but retains heat and maintains a steady temperature better than every other collection. If you prefer pans that heat up and respond to temperature changes quickly, All-Clad G5 and Copper Core have the best heat conduction. If you want well-rounded cookware that heats fast, retains heat well, and won't break the bank, All-Clad D3 Everyday and Demeyere Industry are the best options. Although All-Clad D3 and D5 perform really well, I strongly prefer the handles on D3 Everyday and Demeyere Industry. If you're ready to buy, I've linked to all of these collections in the video description. Those are affiliate links, so I'll earn a commission if you click and buy, but at no extra cost to you. If this was helpful, check out this video where I dive deeper into the pros and cons of All-Clad cookware. And for more videos like this, click the logo to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.